Raider Nation, strap in, because Week 2 of the NFL is shaping up to be absolutely electric. Monday Night Football is just around the corner, and the Las Vegas Raiders are set to clash with the Los Angeles Chargers in a matchup that could have huge implications for the AFC West. Both teams are coming off strong performances in Week 1, and this game isn't just another check mark on the schedule, it's a statement. The Raiders handled the New England Patriots with a mix of grit, adjustments, and sheer talent, while the Chargers dominated the Kansas City Chiefs, showing that they're not just a team to be overlooked in this division. This isn't a simple rivalry game. This is a battle for supremacy in a division that is still wide open. The Broncos are also 1-0, and while their defense is arguably the best in the West, their offense struggles to keep up with the pace needed to compete at the top. Meanwhile, the Raiders and Chargers both have the chance to go 2-0, and a win here could set the tone for the season in a major way. Even the Chiefs could find themselves starting 0-2 for the first time ever with Patrick Mahomes, depending on how things shake out. Every possession, every play, and every adjustment is going to matter, and you better believe both teams are ready for a fight. One of the biggest questions heading into this matchup is Brock Bowers' health. The Raiders star tight and took a hit to his knee in Week 1 and did not return to the game, which immediately sparked concern across Raider Nation. From what's been reported and what I've been told, the team is taking a cautious approach, but the expectation is that Bowers will be back on the field for this Monday night showdown. He's arguably the most critical offensive weapon on the team, a top target, and a player capable of changing the game in a single play. Having him available would not only boost the offense, but also give Geno Smith an extra layer of security and opportunity to execute in the passing game. Fans should feel reassured. Bowers' absence last week was situational, and barring anything unexpected, number 89 is set to make an impact when it counts. The offensive line, however, remains a key concern. Week 1 showcased just how much this unit needs to improve, particularly in the running game. Geno Smith did an incredible job carrying the team on his shoulders, averaging 5 yards per carry on scrambles and making up for a line that struggled to open lanes. Ashton Gentry ran 19 times for 38 yards, but here's the crazy part. He had more yards after contact than he did in total rushing yards. That's not just unusual, it's a stark indicator of how little room the running backs were given. For the Raiders to consistently win against top-tier AFC West defenses, the line has to step up. Players like Dylan Parham, Jordan Meredith, JPJ, and DJ Glaze need to elevate their game and become more physical, more disciplined, and more consistent across the board. The adjustments made in practice leading up to this matchup will be pivotal, and fans should be watching closely to see if the coaching staff can correct these issues before kickoff. Defensively, the story is just as compelling. Landon Roberts left Week 1 with a sprained elbow, and while his status is currently questionable, the linebacker group stepped up in his absence. Jamal Adams was flying all over the field, making plays that disrupted New England's rhythm. Devin White showcased elite tackling ability, and Tommy Eichenberg, in limited reps, performed admirably. This gives Raiders fans hope that even if Roberts isn't at 100%, the team can still hold its ground against the Chargers' offense led by Justin Herbert. The battle in the middle of the field is going to be key, and the depth shown by the Raiders linebackers in Week 1 proves that this team has the capability to adapt when injuries strike. Now let's talk quarterbacks, because no discussion of Monday Night Football in Las Vegas is complete without it. Justin Herbert came out swinging against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, looking dominant and showing why he's considered one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. But here's the twist. The Raiders have Geno Smith, who has consistently proven to thrive in high-pressure situations, especially indoors. Playing in a dome at Allegiant Stadium, Smith has a unique opportunity to exploit a controlled environment, executing throws with precision and taking advantage of the offense built around him. This is the kind of stage where the lights are brightest, the crowd is loudest, and every decision matters. Geno's performance could define the narrative for Week 2, and if he brings the best version of himself, the Raiders could very well take control of this game from start to finish. High-scoring affairs are likely, considering both offenses have explosive potential. The Raiders' passing game has been sharp, with Smith connecting on deep throws and distributing the ball efficiently, while the Chargers' offense thrives on vertical passing and fast reads. Every matchup on the field, from the trenches to the secondary, is a chess match where one mistake could swing momentum instantly. Raider Nation should expect a fast-paced, intense, and physically demanding game, where every play is amplified and every moment counts. The stakes are high, the rivalry is intense, and Monday night could be the game that signals which team is ready to dominate the AFC West. Now, diving deeper into what we can expect on Monday night, one of the biggest stories is the health of Landon Roberts. Roberts, the backbone of the Raiders' defense, left Week 1 with a sprained elbow, and his availability is still in question. This isn't just another injury update. Roberts is the kind of player who can set the tone for an entire defensive unit. His ability to read plays, control the middle of the field, and provide leadership on every snap makes him a pivotal piece against an offense like the Chargers. If he's not at 100%, the linebackers behind him will have to step up big time. Thankfully, Week 1 gave fans a glimpse of that depth. Tommy Eichenberg, who filled in admirably, and Devin White, who is a tackling machine, proved that the Raiders can handle adversity, but Roberts' presence would take that confidence to a whole new level. When you look at the Chargers' offense, Justin Herbert is the centerpiece, and he is coming off a masterful performance against the Chiefs. He completed the majority of his passes, threw for over 300 yards, and showcased his ability to read defenses and make decisive throws under pressure. But here's the thing about Herbert. He's spectacular when everything clicks, but he's also known to have moments where mistakes can creep in during high-pressure situations. That's where the Raiders' defense comes into play. If the front seven can generate consistent pressure, collapse the pocket, and force him to make quick decisions, it could tilt the balance in favor of Las Vegas. Edge rushers and linebackers need to time their rushes perfectly, and secondary coverage has to be sharp because Herbert is capable of exploiting even the smallest windows. And let's not forget the matchups across the line of scrimmage. The Raiders' offensive line has to improve significantly if they want to sustain drives and protect Geno Smith against a Chargers pass rush that can be relentless. Week 1 highlighted how vulnerable the running game can be when holes don't open up, and if the line doesn't gel this week, it will be a long night. Dylan Parham, Jordan Meredith, JPJ, and DJ Glaze need to communicate, adjust, and play with more physicality. Colt Miller showed flashes of competence in Week 1, but the rest of the unit must rise to the occasion. The Raiders' rushing attack can't be one-dimensional. The team has to balance the pass and the run to keep the Chargers guessing. Otherwise, defensive coordinators will scheme around what they know is coming. Speaking of the rushing attack, Ashton Gentry had a mixed Week 1 performance. He scored a touchdown, but the average yardage per carry was a concern, and much of his production came after contact due to the lack of lanes created up front. The reality is that the offensive line has to open those lanes consistently for Gentry to be effective. Geno Smith's mobility can compensate to an extent, but this can't be relied upon every week. If the Raiders want to execute a balanced offense, the run game has to click, the line has to hold its blocks, and the timing between quarterback and receivers needs to be crisp. On the defensive side, the Chargers present a unique challenge. Their receivers are fast, precise, and capable of stretching the field vertically, which puts pressure on both the linebackers and the secondary. Jamal Adams and Devin White have to continue flying around the field, maintaining gap integrity and delivering clean tackles, while the defensive line must collapse the pocket to limit Herbert's time. It's a chess match, and every decision matters. The Raiders have shown the ability to adapt and make mid-game adjustments, but this week, the speed, accuracy, and decision-making of the Chargers' quarterback and skill players will be tested against a defense that thrives on physicality and disciplined execution. Another critical storyline is how Geno Smith will perform in a dome environment. Historically, Smith has excelled indoors, where the controlled conditions allow for more precise reads and timing on deep throws. Against the Patriots, he carried the team in tough outdoor conditions, showcasing his ability to make plays under pressure. Now, inside Allegiant Stadium, in perfect conditions, the Raiders have an opportunity to see the best version of Geno. He can push the ball downfield, distribute quickly to receivers, and create explosive plays that change momentum instantly. The connection with Brock Bowers will be key here, as defenses will focus on trying to take away the deep ball and intermediate routes. Smith's accuracy and decision-making will be critical to exploiting any weaknesses in the Chargers' coverage. Let's also talk about the mental side of this game. Momentum, confidence, and resilience play enormous roles on Monday Night Football. The Raiders have already shown they can win under pressure, executing key plays down the stretch against the Patriots. They've proven that adjustments can be made mid-game, and that depth players can rise to the occasion when starters are limited or injured. That mentality will be tested against the Chargers, who are skilled, confident, and have a quarterback capable of exploiting any lapse in focus. Raiders Nation should be ready for a fast-paced, high-intensity battle where the mental toughness of both teams will be as important as their physical performance. Special teams shouldn't be overlooked either. Field position will matter in a game that could be high-scoring, and the Raiders' return game has to be sharp to help set up the offense. Every yard counts in a matchup like this, and execution on punts, kickoffs, and coverage units could tilt the balance in critical moments. Coaches on both sides will emphasize discipline here, because a single mistake could swing the game. Finally, let's consider the broader narrative. Monday Night Football shines a national spotlight, and every play, every drive, and every decision will be analyzed by fans and analysts alike. Geno Smith versus Justin Herbert isn't just a quarterback duel. It's a story of leadership, execution, and who can rise to the occasion when the lights are brightest. Raiders Nation has the chance to witness a game where the stakes are sky-high, the atmosphere is electric, and the outcome could define the early season trajectory of the AFC West. Momentum is crucial, and the Raiders have the talent, the coaching, and the mindset to make a statement. If Brock Bowers suits up, the offensive line holds, the linebackers fly around the field, and Geno Smith delivers his best performance, the Raiders can not only compete, they can dominate. Monday night isn't just a game. It's a test of everything the Raiders stand for. Discipline, adaptability, and heart. Every player on the roster has a chance to make a difference. Every play will matter. The Chargers are formidable, but the Raiders are ready to answer. This is the kind of football that Raider Nation lives for. The drama, the tension, the athleticism, and the strategy all coming together under the brightest lights. Get ready, because this is going to be a showdown where heroes are made, plays are remembered, and the Raiders have the chance to stake their claim in the division right from the start of the season. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The desert is buzzing with whispers that could shake the NFL landscape. Word around league circles suggests that the Las Vegas Raiders have moved decisively to secure Jadeveon Clowney, the former #1 overall pick and one of the most feared defensive ends of his generation, to bolster their defensive line. While no official announcement has surfaced, insiders claim the deal is all but sealed, with only final details keeping the Raiders from rolling out the silver and black carpet. Clowney, known for his explosive first step and ability to collapse a pocket from the edge, has long been one of the league's most polarizing figures. Injuries and inconsistent production have shadowed his career, but few dispute the raw talent that once made him the most talked-about defender coming out of South Carolina. If the rumors prove true, the Raiders may have just added a dangerous new piece to a defense desperate for intimidation and depth. For Las Vegas, the move would represent more than just another signing. It would be a statement of intent, an acknowledgement that the Raiders are unwilling to settle for mediocrity in a fiercely competitive AFC West. The pairing of Clowney with star pass rusher Max Crosby would create a nightmare scenario for opposing quarterbacks, particularly in a division already headlined by Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Imagine Clowney crashing from one side and Crosby tearing from the other, with Raider Nation roaring under the Allegiant Stadium lights. That image alone has fans already buzzing on message boards and talk radio. Skeptics, of course, wonder whether Clowney still has enough left in the tank to justify the hype. His sack numbers have never fully matched the expectations attached to his name, and whispers about his durability are as persistent as ever. Yet in the right system, surrounded by proven talent, he might not need to carry the entire burden. For now, it remains just a rumor, but one that feels like it could catch fire at any moment. If CLOWNEY is truly heading to Las Vegas, the Raiders' defense could finally find the balance it has lacked for years. And in a city built on bold bets, this might be the one gamble that pays off in silver and black. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.